Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Get Seller Leads. And this week, I'm super stoked to go over this. With AI going just leaps and bounds, it is definitely leaving a lot of people in the dust if they're not hopping on board. And today, we're going to go over the top 10 apps that we're using pretty much daily in our business to save it's countless hours. I mean, I probably save myself 40 plus hours a week just with the tools that I do. Eric probably couldn't even put a number on it because the things that he's using it for weren't even in existence a couple of years ago and would have needed to hire full production studios to duplicate and get them. So if you're in the business, if you're thinking about being in the business, if you've been in for a while and you feel like you're just kind of stagnating, like you're going to want to pay attention to this stuff because we're going to show you some things that are probably going to blow you away that you didn't even know were options out there. And that's what I find amazing in this space is that I feel like every couple of weeks I'm getting introduced to something new that I didn't even think was a possibility. It just blows my mind to think like, oh my God, what can I actually do with this? And then I have to stop myself going down a rabbit hole, like spending hours just kind of researching what I can or can't do with it.
Let's give them a couple quick examples, Alex, too.
Totally.
Like for me, in an hour and a half, I went from having absolutely nothing to a fully published YouTube video with 4 shorts, a long form YouTube video, camera cut angles, all this fancy video editing. And that hour and a half includes me recording the video. Like I literally had nothing. I was done. I had the titles, the thumbnail, the description, like the fully polished video, and all the shorts all done. I literally did it this morning right before this.
Totally. And I mean, how many people you can get in front of, with that thousands, I mean, just on your last video, right, was several thousand people and hundreds of hours of watch time for an hour and a half of work.
Yeah. 55 hours of watch time on that one video just in the last week. And then it's going to live there and keep, compounding on that. So
exactly. A few years ago when I started, a handful of years ago when I started working more with traditional clients, lead magnets are a huge thing, right? As agents, it's really tricky to give stuff away for free in our business because everybody's giving shit away for free. And so lead magnets, right? Information is a huge thing. And with the new tool I'm using, I mean, I used to pay an editor several $100 to create like neighborhood guides, and things that people could download and I could send people and that they would like give me their information in exchange for. And now minutes.
You never dream of spending that now, would you?
No.
10 minutes on a computer and it's done.
And it's done, and it's done better than I could have done it with spending. I mean, I'll show you what I did with my retirement folks, my relocation retirement guides here in a few. And it blew me away how good it looks and how professional and how little time I actually had to spend on it. Like for a product that I can update in 3 months, in 6 months, in minutes, because the problem with those guides is that they become outdated quickly. And so you're constantly remaking them, constantly spending hundreds of dollars for an editor and, someone to put it together, some virtual assistant to put it together. Video wise, yeah, I'm on board with you, man. Like I can't tell you how many hundreds of hours I've saved. And then the ideation, the deep research that you can do now with something like a ChatGPT, a Gemini, to find things and trends that you didn't know were a thing that you could spend hundreds of hours researching that it can do in 10 minutes. And you don't even have to hang around for those 10 minutes. Just go do something else and, come on back while it's doing this deep research is pretty incredible.
So we got video editing, thumbnails, descriptions, idea creation, neighborhood flyers, full-on video editing of any kind. I haven't even talked about yet the YouTube videos from like even just coming up with creative stuff out of nowhere. Like I get Fat Bastard from Austin Powers to say anything I want him to say, or Dr. Evil and the $1 million I'll buy your house for anything you could ever think of, just from your imagination to actual creation.
Yeah. And that's just
in this.
big stuff. Like that's not even a little day to day, like, oh my God, how do I respond to this text message stuff? Right. Which
Yeah.
I use it for. I'm not going to say heavily, but enough where it does a better job than I do. And it removes my emotion from a lot of communication, which in our job is a good thing because we're trying to get people to the closing table, right? Our emotions do not serve anybody in the equation. Um,
But
oh,
all
so
this
this
stuff,
is,
like if you're watching this video, we're gonna show you how to do it, like
yeah,
exactly how to do it, and it's like you're gonna learn it. By the time this is over, like it's not just hey, I could do this, or hey, those guys
yeah.
are doing it with AI. It's like, no, here's how you do it.
Yeah, we're going to show you real life examples of what we're doing, why we're doing it, if we know how much something is costing, because some of these are worth paying for, but none of them are very expensive given what they actually do. Yeah, we're going to go over this, and yeah, you're going to have a real understanding of how you can implement this stuff into your business. Now, I wanted to rank this from 1 to 10, right? On how much I liked all these, and I decided that was a losing battle because they're all so good in so many ways that they can't be ranked. If we want to put number 1 on top, sure, just put ChatGPT or Gemini. Like they're kind of the all-encompassing thing. Other than that, I you just can't rank these right on usability. But if I had to pick only one that I could use, it might be ChatGPT for me. But it is what it is.
I would cheat and say Poe,
Okay,
and,
totally, and
and
we'll
everyone
get
will know before this is over why I say that. But
yeah, we'll get into why here. All right, let's just start with the big ones, right? So we kind of group these together in what they provide, right? And we'll just start with number 1, ChatGPT, and kind of what I'm using it for. I'll let you know, ask Eric what he's using it for. But I think it's like $20-ish a month, right, for the newest version. And I use this a lot for ideation. I use it for research. I use it for communication, emails, everything. So to give you an idea um, of what I use it for, let me share my screen here. All right. So the way I use ChatGPT, I've got several projects on the left, right? I've got my real estate business. And just to give you an idea, my weekly email that I send out every week to all of my leads. And I have a preferred format, right? And you've probably seen it if you're listening to this and you're on our email list. You've probably seen this format too, right? And it hits on a market stat. So for this week, the coolest market stat that I could find, that it could find, was that new home sales reached 800,000 units in August, which is a 20% jump month over month, and 15% higher than last year. Like that's a significant jump. And so I give it the article and, then it breaks down,
well,
some,
hey Alex, do
yeah.
you have like a trained Chat GPT that you use for this every week, and how did you do that?
Yeah. So over time, I just used one chat initially, right? But then you can see over the years, like I have so many chats going, it's ridiculous. And so I have kind of trained it onto what I like as my preferred method. You know what I mean? And so now it automatically knows, like, oh, hey, we're doing a weekly email for real estate. Like, I'm going to put it in this format, which is market stat of the week, um, what buyers and sellers could do about it, and then some local information on like what to do around Denver this time of year, right? And so every time I plug in, like, hey, can you write me an article based on or a newsletter based on this article? It'll pull stats out of that article. It'll give buyers and sellers an opinion of what to do. And then it'll pull out some local event or something from over the weekend. And so it's quick, it's bullet
Cool.
pointed, it's easy to navigate. And, like this week, the leaves are changing in Colorado. So that's what you should be going and doing. I do this.
I have an opinion on
Yeah.
I wanted to share with this. Quickly, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, they're all like the same thing in a sense. And as time goes by, they come closer and closer to being the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I think of them like employees. right?
Yep.
Each one of them is a different guy with a different personality. Like Grok's like super dork. ChatGPT is probably the cool guy who's like understands your personality and nuances a little better.
Yep.
Gemini is like super detailed research assistant person. And so this is why I wanted to bring this up right now. I think if you use Gemini to do those newsletters, they might be a little better because unlike ChatGPT, Gemini has access to the background of uh, Google because Gemini is owned by Google.
Yep.
So it has better research. It has a stronger reach of like figuring out what's going on this weekend and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, and as these things change, like it's gonna change on us. And so this other part of what I use ChatGPT for is on the deep research, and it's so good at digging in. Like, I use it for a lot for video ideation, and once I have the ideation right, the idea of what I want the video to be, I'll have it go do deep research, and I'll ask it to pull out outliers within YouTube that would be good for my channel. Okay. So it'll spend 20, 30, 40 minutes going through. I'm trying to see if I can find, here we go. And so all of this is one little chat. This is deep research. This is for a retirement guide. So I had the idea of, I've had a lot of people retiring to Denver area lately. So I went through and said, hey, I want you to do deep research on retiring in the Golden Red Rocks, foothills area, and give me like the top 8 important bullet points that you would be considering if you were retiring somewhere, and put it in a format that sounds like a script, right? And it'll go through and spend some good time. And I mean, digs in. And like, I check these stats on real estate and housing, and it's pretty darn good. Where all the hospitals are at location wise, hiking trails, outdoor recreation, amenities, daily conveniences. If you're retired, getting to the grocery store or pharmacy is a big deal. And it goes really into detail. And so each one of these videos probably saves me about 8 hours of trying to find information, just by doing the deep research on ChatGPT. All right. So ChatGPT can do pretty much everything.
And consider how much better it might be if it was Gemini, because it's literally made by the owners of YouTube. So like
totally. And so I'm going to hop on Gemini, and I'm going to try to compare now tick for tat, like what one does versus the other. But now it scrapes. It used to, just a few months ago, it couldn't even go on to YouTube and like scrape videos, right? And like see what's going on. Now it can scrape videos, it can analyze them, it can analyze the scripts, and it can give you ideas for what you should be creating content wise, which just is fucking mind blowing. And it's really good. Like, it's not a little good, it's really freaking good. All right, that's ChatGPT. Enough on that one. All right, talk to me, Gemini and Poe. You know those two platforms way better than I do. All right, Gemini, Poe, what are you using them for?
Let's see. Can you see my screen?
Oh, let me remove mine. No, I can't. Try re-end it.
Share. It says I'm sharing screen.
Let me see. Oh, there we go.
There we go. The infinite.
Yep.
There we go. All right. So I use Poe, and here's why. All right. So Poe is an aggregator. It's not an AI thing. It's not its own AI thing. All it is you get to use all the different AIs. So like here, I asked a question and I wanted Grok to answer it. Here, Gemini. Here, ChatGPT, right? So you get to, you have a new question, you can pick which bot you're going to use. So you get access to all of them, and which has been great lately because the ones that are, they're changing all the time. So the one you want to use is different from week to week because they keep coming out with new models. Well, this is a way to always have access to the best of the best. So I use Gemini a lot. You'll see lately. Actually, I share this with my son. So he is in college and he uses it for like a journal adjusting it. This is from his accounting class. So, but we both can use it and it works.
Yep. So Swordfish Permit, Florida. Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah. I wanted to know if you needed a permit.
Yeah.
Federal
And
permit.
so what's amazing now, and this is where it's getting tricky, we'll tie this into kind of some lead gen stuff if you're working on Google, like what Eric just showed you there. He was looking up a swordfish permit in Florida, which normally you'd go to Google, right? But now you're going to Gemini.
Yes.
So what would normally show up in Google results, all the sponsored ads for fishing guides, for wherever you could buy a permit for, fishing for swordfish, is all invalid. Doesn't matter because you're not seeing it as a user because he just used Gemini. So as teams maybe are relying on Google, let's say, pay-per-click stuff, sell my house, let me help you buy a house, like as people are replacing it with ChatGPT, with Gemini, with Grok, that sponsorship is going away, and it's just going to be more and more and more because these services are going to be so tailored to us that it's not going to be just the pay to play anymore. It'll be interesting to see how advertising develops over time within these systems because a few weeks ago, for the first time, I did have someone find me through ChatGPT, which was way different than I thought. I'm going, what the hell? He never responded and told me where or how or what question he typed in, anything like that. But I somehow came up in his ChatGPT, and that's how he reached out to me, which was fascinating. So, okay, so let's see. We've got ChatGPT, Gemini you like a lot versus ChatGPT.
Just right now, Gemini 2.5 Pro is awesome. It came out recently.
How much is Gemini? Do you know?
Well, I just pay $100 a month for Poe, and that gives me everything.
Okay, so Poe then combines what? ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, and you said a fourth one maybe?
A lot more than that. Here,
oh, geez. Okay.
It's almost all of them. Here, we'll go entire screen.
Claude.
So if I go bots and apps, so they have their own bot that I never use because it's no good. But so Gemini, ChatGPT, Grok, ChatGPT images, Claude right here. Claude was awesome for a while, but not so much. Midjourney.
Jeez.
It just goes and go. You use all of this for $100 a month.
Yeah. Okay.
Kimmy, whatever the hell that is.
Yep. And so these are the base. If you were going to use AI for anything, I would say you need to start with one of these on the front end, right? ChatGPT, Gemini, Poe, right? Those are the top three, and Poe arguably is everybody, but you're going to spend $100 a month versus like $20 a month on ChatGPT, right? So pick your platform and start using this like an assistant. Okay. One thing I will say on these first few apps is, from what I've heard from people who are at a higher level with the creation of these apps, is how the different ages use these tools. And they compared it to us older people. I'm going to put us in that category because we almost grew up with technology from what, high school, essentially. That's when it was common that everybody had a computer. And then we saw the development of Google, and we were the Googling generation. And these younger kids, that's how we use things as Google, is we ask it questions to then give us results that then we can discern the information out of. This younger generation is using it more like an assistant, right? They're more duplicating themselves and using it in a different way than we even understand how to use it. And it's really fascinating to see how they're going to use it. And if you're ever struggling with one of these platforms, all you need to do is ask it to ask you the questions. So, for example, when I am creating a video for my, retirement age group of people, I ask it, hey, ask me a series of questions that will help me understand who my target audience is, right? Just like for get seller leads, like help me understand, ask me a series of questions to help me understand what agents and wholesalers are struggling with right now in their business, right? And then it'll ask me to get ideas out of my head on like what my strengths are, what my weaknesses are, what I can talk to, what I can't talk to, what I should or should not talk to. Um, so then we can try to create stuff that is more useful for you guys. Use it like an assistant, right? Ask it things. It's very intelligent. Prompts on ChatGPT, Gemini, Poe are maybe the most important thing to figure out, because once you do figure out good prompts, it's fascinating what it'll pull out on you.
Well, and I feel like through time, the having great prompts is less and less important. Like it's still awesome, but like when they first came out, you had to be really good with prompting.
Yeah.
And now the more advanced levels, especially with Chat GPT,
Yep.
they're better at picking up on nuances. Like,
Yeah, totally. 100%.
Before we get off ChatGPT, there's one more thing with ChatGPT because we started talking about that, but I have one more thing to add to it that I've been doing with it. I think is super cool. So if you combine ChatGPT with, I'm drawing a blank, Zapier. Here, I'll share my screen.
Okay.
You can do a lot of cool stuff. So here,
Zapier
account, right? So what I did is I imported a bunch of a cold list of like people that you're likely to have, they're having financial problems, they have lots of equity, they're older, they're likely to sell, right? So I buy that list, and I bought it from PropStream, which isn't an AI thing, so I don't want to get into that. So assuming we'll make a whole other video about that. But let's say you have a list. It has name, email, phone number for people that might want to sell their house. I then made this Zapier that says, hey, I want you to go through this list of people. Like I have in high level, I have a sequence that says, hey, send this information over to this Zapier, trigger the Zap. Then it tells the Zap the property address, the person's name, all that stuff. And then Zapier goes through with each person and says to AI. Now I had to also subscribe to ChatGPT for this.
Yep.
You get an OpenAI account in addition to my Poe account. So Poe will let you use ChatGPT, but not with Zapier. So if you want to use Zapier, you have to subscribe to ChatGPT directly. So Zapier says to ChatGPT, gives it a prompt that I told it, like I configured this prompt, and it says, here, write a 1-paragraph letter, this many characters maximum, from Eric Young to be physically mailed, should make them want to call me if they want to sell their home, right? And I get into like, make it personalized for them, trustworthy. So now ChatGPT is going to do research on this person and then create a letter for me. And then and then I have them do an email and a text, and right. So ChatGPT is going to create all this content, and then when it's done, it takes everything Zapier takes what ChatGPT gave it, and then uploads it back into high level. So now instead of just having, let me get back to, now instead of just having all these contacts in my high level account that are cold, now I not only have their name, email, address, I also have text for a letter that would be super detailed for them and a good text to send out for them specifically. Yeah. So instead of automating like, hey, every time we have this new lead, send them a text that says, hey, my name is Eric. No, it doesn't have to be like that anymore. It'd be like, hey, my name is Eric, and John, I know you live on, Cherry Street Court, and I love that park across the street that has got a cool playground, and I'm really interested in buying your house. I know you're getting older, ready to retire. Maybe this would be a good fit for us. Like, you should give me a call if you want to sell.
This would be great for old lead re-engagement, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Right. I mean, I got 3,000 old leads that I haven't talked to in who knows how long. Right. And so I think of something like this. They already reached out to me. I already spent money on getting them. And all the typical automated stuff, which as the systems get smarter, everybody knows what automated texts and emails are like, right? Versus, hey, Mike, I see that your neighbor 4 doors down just sold earlier this year. Like, are you still interested in selling, or blah, 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 whatever, right? Like,
yeah, sold for $558 and his house has less square footage than your house. Think what we could get for you. You can't even go into that detail.
That would be wild.
Yeah,
but
it's
I
cool.
mean,
It's here,
it's here.
right?
It's
And
here.
the window of opportunity where this is going to work, I think, is relatively small because we're right on the front end. I'm sure I'm figuring this out here in Denver, Colorado. I'm just a real estate guy. I'm not even a tech guy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's people way smarter than me that are way beyond this, some big corporations.
Sure.
And they start incorporating this, people are going to get used to getting personalized text, emails, letters, and
Yeah.
they're going to get numb to it. But
Yeah.
not yet. It works now, probably.
Yeah, it works now. We might have a couple year run on it. And we're not going to have to worry about the compasses and the EXPs and the Redfin or the those Keller Williams of the world. Those are just brokerage firms. It's going to be the Redfins. It's going to be the Open Doors. It's going to be the Zillows. Maybe not Open Door. They're probably close to going out of business, but neither here nor there, right? Zillows of the world. Those big tech companies that are not the brokerage firm per se. Those are going to be the ones that are going to put the tech to use to amplify their business.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. All right. We're going to hop over to video creation. Now, we're going to kind of take this in order. It's still kind of two different, sections of it, but creation of things. You use that a lot more than I do. So you've got a few on this list: Veo 3, Luma, and Pixel. All right, let's start with Veo 3. What do
Nice.
you use it for?
Let's I'll tell you what I used it for, and then let's make a cool video together.
Okay.
I'll share my screen and we can do it together so you can see it real term. Veo 3 is freaking, it's just incredible. Like I thought AI was cool, and then I learned about Veo 3 and I was like, mind blown. AI is way cooler than I thought it was. But anything you can imagine, it'll create it in videos that are up to 8 seconds long.
Okay.
Right. And at first you think, oh, that's not very good. 8 seconds. Well, watch any movie. They don't do a there's a scene cut way before every 8 seconds. So
yeah, totally. It's every 2 to 3 seconds is they're having a scene cut. Yep.
Yeah. So I think through I think through what I want I use it for Facebook ads. So I think through what I want my scenes to be, and then I go to Veo 3 and I create the scenes. But let's create one scene together here.
Okay.
So share screen and all right, let's go flow. So you sign up for this with labs.google.fx.tools.flow. Sign it up through Flow. It makes it easier to do it. So all right, so we're going to do a new project. They've changed this. Here's the button now.
You only change it once a week.
Yeah. So here's kind of an idea. Let's have a cartoon of a boy with red shorts and blue shirt and blonde hair that is spiky, peeing on a house. We want to make it similar to a Calvin and Hobbes cartoon with the boy laughing. All right. So my idea here is it'd be cool to have a video that's like, are you tired of the real estate market pissing all over your plans to sell your house?
Yeah.
Right. I could overlay text and stuff around that, but let's start with seeing what Veo 3 comes up with. And it's also good to have just a loose idea of what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then let Veo 3 kind of come up with stuff. And it will oftentimes they'll come up with cooler things than you ever could even think of. And it changes your direction a little bit.
Sure. Totally. Yeah. That's what I've noticed on all of these is like when you go vague on stuff, it kind of opens, it just adds more questions. right? And you think of things you wouldn't have before, which can actually make a lot of stuff better. All right, so how much is Veo 3? This one I know is not cheap, right?
No, it was $150 a month, and I think I'm about to get dinged with start at $250 a month starting like now.
Okay.
Intro period
Yep.
just ended. So yeah, this one's steep.
Yep. And why does it make sense for you and your business to pay that kind of money for this?
Because this is how I'm making my ad content that grabs people's attention on Facebook.
Gotcha. Yep. Where honestly, for that price, you probably pay to have one video like this made from a video editor, right? Someone who's going to create it. And you could make dozens of these a month.
And normally out of the 4, there'll be like one that's semi close. And
Yep.
you got to redirect it and think about it a little more. But
Okay.
let's play this one. Tell me if you can hear the sound.
Peeing out of his neck.
So way off the mark there.
I cannot hear the sound.
Oh, you can't hear the sound?
No, you got to share it differently on the screen in order to hear it.
Okay. How do
You got to share it as a window or as a individual tab.
Window.
It's under tab settings. So
Chrome tab. Got it. Flow. Yep. Here we go. All right. All right.
There you go.
We're striking out though.
Yep. But I mean, for what it is, like, it might have a hard time with the whole urinating thing, but like you could go back in, adjust this a little bit, right? Redo the prompt and make it how you want. You probably have to do that a few times on these videos, right?
All right, so there. We'll let it start work on that, but here, let's see this last one that finally got done.
But you can see, like, if it was streaming from the right spot, like, okay, like, all right, now you just got to refine it a little bit, make the house smaller, like you updated that prompt, and have something that you could use.
Yeah, and a lot of times it takes several times, but they give you so many credits.
Really?
I've never even come close to running out of credits.
Okay.
Right. So you just try until you get it.
Sure. So now with that, while that one's loading, Luma. Is Luma something similar to Veo 3?
Yes. So here, I'll show you some of the finished products. Let's see. This could work good. We'll come back to this, and I want to show you. Here we go. So this is a video so Veo 3 only puts it in landscape view. So let's find one that's in the actual scene. That's probably good enough.
Why should I be hopeful my house value is going to go up in price, Eric?
Right. So something like that for the Google Veo 3. And then I upload it into Luma and I say, make it 9:16. So fill in above, fill in below. Like make that other video that was the wrong aspect ratio.
Yep.
Work so it's a really good looking ad on iPhone.
Okay. Right. Interesting. So yeah, it's not quite editing software. It's not quite video.
Oh wait, you guys can't see because I'm just sharing this one tab.
Yeah, you're just sharing that one tab.
Damn. All right. So here, let's look at the last iteration here, and then we'll show you Luma. Because I was trying to show you Luma, but it wasn't working.
Oh my God.
So you
That's a
could
little,
go somewhere with that.
that's a little vicious. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a little off.
Good Lord. Okay.
But anyway, you get the
Yep.
idea. I'm going to let's see. We'll go stop sharing. And let me share my other tab for Luma. Share. Okay, so here's that one we just were looking at.
Yep.
But it's turned into you need to have it this aspect ratio so it doesn't look like an ad on your phone when you're running the Facebook ad that people are going through, like Instagram.
Yep.
Facebook goes to Instagram too. You want it to look like you can't put words up here until you get them hooked. So I normally do the first couple scenes. I take Luma and have them redo it, but this is what it looks like here.
Get the highest offer. Get the most money.
Right. So it filled in the legs.
Yeah, totally. And that does a pretty solid job of it. And do you pay for Luma?
Yes, it's $15.
Breaking news. There is
Okay.
a
Gotcha.
So here's
I
another
have
good one.
Eric Young on
Where
the
it filled in
line
the
today
entire
who will
ceiling.
explain
Yep.
how to sell your home for
So
more
if you're
than
doing
it's
ad creation, like this is definitely higher level, AI powered stuff to kind of, but if you're spending money, if you're spending thousands of bucks a month on ads, right? Like you want to make sure that they're hitting home as good as possible. All right, pixels. So what do you use pixels for then?
Pixels is for my YouTube thumbnails.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I think Pixels is incredible. I think we have differing opinions about this because, but
Somewhat. I do like Pixel. I just don't necessarily like what it does to faces.
right. Well, you can use Pixel with Canva to, you could use Pixel to make a thumbnail like this, right? And just click the X here so it doesn't put the person on it.
Yep.
And then you can use Canva to add the person to it after the fact. But
Totally.
I'm just going to scroll through here, some different, so this one got me 1,900 views. Or wait, yeah, that's 1,900 views somehow. No, just a sec. It's up higher, right? Can you see my screen or no?
Yeah, I can see your screen. Yep.
There,
That one.
this one, $1,900.
1,900 views.
Or views.
Yeah.
Not dollars. Yeah. So all I told it was so Pixel is an AI thumbnail generator that is good at making viral thumbnails. So in your prompting, it already knows a lot of what you need to go viral. So you don't need to be as good with your prompting as if you tried to use ChatGPT to make your thumbnails.
Yep. Totally. Sweet.
Yeah,
Awesome.
this one ended up really good too.
Nice.
For my vacation rental house, it was a video I did on how to catch tuna at the marathon hump, and I made a video out of it.
Sweet, dude. Okay, Pixel. How much is Pixels? Do you know?
I don't even remember. It's cheap though. I think it was like $150 for a year or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there you have on video and image generation there. Veo 3, Luma, Pixel. All right. On to continue on the video side of things, getting more into the editing side. There's a lot of options here. Probably the front runner is going to be Descript. Okay.
In my opinion, Descript would be my second. If I could only have two AI softwares, it'd be Poe and then Descript. I love this freaking software.
Okay, that's good to know. So to give you an idea, like it takes a few minutes to process the information. So I don't want to run one live, but I took a weekly update. So I'm starting to do shorter weekly market updates with my weekly email that ChatGPT is coming up. And then I just take that email and I make a very simple script out of it. Basically read the email because some people learn visually, right? Some people learn auditorially. And then I take that audio and I put it on a podcast, right? So I don't have many subscribers. There's not many viewers on it, but it's a handful, right? And so the all of this stuff, I recorded it right before we recorded this show. Took me 4 minutes to record it. I will run it through Descript, and it'll basically do this with a prompt that basically says, hey, you can get rid of filler words if you want, which I don't really care about, not on these videos at least. And then it'll come up with layouts. So like this was a simple layout for the Denver market report for September 18th. And it'll go through and it'll edit things out. It'll get bullet points at the time. So that's when the Fed cut interest rates, right?
Like Alex didn't come up with these ideas either. Like
No.
it just watches the video and comes up with this all on its own.
Yeah, so let me share this a different way
Yeah.
so you can see, so you can hear what it does, because like it's pretty good. All right, let's just play this bad boy. I'm Alex Saldana, and here is your Denver market report update for the week of September 18th, 2025. So big news out. The Fed just cut interest rates by 25 basis points, and they've signaled that they're likely to do another 50 basis points by the year's end. Now, mortgage rates don't. All this is done automatically, but they do tend to move in the same.
And can you pause it for 1 sec?
We see in some.
So the important thing here too, like the magic that's happening here, is all these scene cuts that are automatic. Because people, if it was just Alex talking, people would get bored and they wouldn't keep watching it, and they'd zone out, and you lose everybody. You have to like have words moving, zoom in, zoom out, like cuts, and it does it automatic.
Totally. Right. And it's way better. And I am pretty darn good at video editing. But I am predicting this would take a while to make that transition smooth, possibly, 10 to 20. And then what it can also do here is, and this start part is getting better, but it'll fill in like towards the end here on the leaf seasons. It'll create one of my favorite times of year. B-roll. Kenosha Pass is currently peaking in fall color. It's one of the closest and like most stunning drives. So it's really hard. It takes a little bit getting used to, a little bit of working around. I think this is like 20 something a month, maybe even less, $15 a month. I think I paid for the year-long deal just to have it. And I mean, it is pretty solid. It's not going to be like the highest of video production level if that's what you think you want. You're going to have to either have an editor or get really good like Adobe Premiere Pro or something like that. But for weekly market updates, simpler educational style videos that we all do, like this is pretty awesome for it. Now, Eric, I know you use Descript a lot in your videos, and you also use it for creating shorts, right?
Yes. Here, can I share my screen with Descript quick?
Yeah.
All right, are we looking at it right now?
Yep.
Okay. So just this morning I created this, but I wanted to point something out. All you do, you go to AI Video Maker, click generate, and then you pick your raw video script. And then it takes like 5 minutes or so, and then it spits out. See if I can find where my projects. Here we go. So it spits out this, right? And for me, here, that's right. So then I have to go through it because it's not 100%. You got to watch it through. And so, like example, like you just alluded to, some of the B-roll isn't quite where it needs to be yet.
Yep.
So I got here towards the end is a great example. It was super cool. I was talking just on the screen, so if I can get to it. It was before that. All right, right here. Oh no, was it before that? Well, damn, I can't find this section in it. But anyway, there's a section in this video where it started adding B-roll, and I didn't like what the B-roll was, but it was still super helpful because it like created the spot for the B-roll.
Yep.
And I was able to just change the image, like upload my own new thing, and I ended up with what I wanted.
Yeah, no, it works. It works really well for that sort of stuff. The layouts, And you just got to watch through it,
Here.
right?
This is it. Here's what I want to show you. So like this it generated on its own. Let's get rid of this. So there's me talk. This is the video it had. This when I uploaded, it was just my face and the whole damn thing, like this, right?
Yeah.
And then it stuck me in a bubble and put this B-roll that was not relevant to my video.
Yep.
But it's still, watch, it fades in. The secret to that is it's this cool thing on the back, has all this on here. All I then had to do was click here and go here on the properties here and replace media. And then I uploaded my own picture.
Yep.
Right. But that saved like 99% of the work. Like they did all the cool things. Right. And here say this is the new picture. This is the house that makes me feel good. I want to and a new picture. The stage cool, I think. All right. So that's awesome. But my favorite thing it does after you're done with your video, so like it cuts a bunch of stuff out. So like put an extra $20,000 to $50,000 in your pocket, sell your home fast, not leave it sit, not leave it sitting stagnant. Right. I repeated myself, so it cut it out.
Yep.
I repeat myself a lot, so it's super helpful for me. It cuts like so much like out of my videos. But you go to AI tools and then come down here to repurpose and click create clips, right? And so I did that, and it created 4 new clips, right? So like here, I want to show you this. This turned out really good. Like I didn't do anything at all. Like I literally just said to create clips, and it made this short for me. But most of the time, we can put an extra $20,000 to $50,000 in your pocket and sell your house fast, not leave it sitting stagnant on the market like so many other houses these days. The secret to that is you make smart improvements that make the home look and feel like a showroom. So when buyers are out looking at their options, when they get to your house, they say, "This is the one. This is the house that makes me feel good. I want to buy it right here." And we can fabricate that feeling by the colors, by the staging. So cool, right? By the materials. That's a quality short. And I didn't do anything. And it made that. And it made 4 of those out of this one video that I already made.
Yeah. 100%. Like that's money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was a really beat up looking unit. There was a lot of wear and tear on it. You get the idea. So I have all this content, and I literally started with nothing this morning, and between 8 o'clock and 9:45 ish, I created, like, ended up with all this content for this week.
Yep, totally. So now I'm gonna double up on that and show you now what I like for shorts too. Now, to be fair, I haven't used Descript for shorts. I had Opus clips from a while ago that I was using, and it works a little bit different, right? Basically, you just take your long form and you drop a link in here and you click on Get Clips, and you can have a few settings to it. But what it will do then, Opus Clips comes out with a lot. So it created 29 clips out of one like 15-minute video. It tries to rate them, but again, you've got to go back and you've got to watch the videos, right? But just to give you an idea, just imagine grabbing coffee in the morning right outside your doorstep, walking to the Cherry Creek Trail, then hitting a boutique or art gallery all before lunch easily. Dinner's just a short walk away. It's polished, it's very social, and really designed for people who want things at their fingertips. And if you're the type who likes to travel, lock the door.
That's good.
Condo. So it's good. You got to watch through it, but I mean, 30 clips out of one, you might get 5 that are valid, right? And now with Opus Clips, this again, $10-15 a month, I can publish directly on social media. So I can have my Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all linked in, and I can schedule it out, right? So I can schedule the next 30 days of shorts based on all the long form. So if you're just kind of blasting stuff out there, like this works really, really well. This would work great for podcasts and stuff to take out individual clips. Like it's designed to do that. But again, something like Descript could put Opus Clips out of business because it also has, like, if Descript just, added a few more features into it on the shorts part of it, it would literally be a total duplication, except Descript has the whole front end editing part of it as well, right? So this is how quickly all this AI stuff can change on you. It's pretty fascinating. So yeah, Opus Clips is one of my favorite tools to use, especially if you're big on short form. Um, okay, on to something else. I got two more for you. So just to recap here, we got ChatGPT, Gemini, Poe, right? All your kind of base foundation AI programs. Then for video and image generation, Veo 3, Luma, Pixels. Then we've got for editing, Descript, Opus Clips. All right, one other fun one, folks. This is a highlight for you real estate agents out here who are talking to a lot of people. And I just got this a few weeks ago, and oh my God, it has already changed my life. It's called Plaud, Plaud. Now, this is a two-part system. It is actually a device on my phone. Okay. This is just magnetized, right? This is the actual little device. And I can start recording just by hitting on a button. Ooh,
Yeah.
we hold down on it. There it goes. It turns red. It's going to start recording. And so it's always on my phone. So I talk on speaker a lot, but it can also pick up if you're, up to the ear phone talker. Just hit the button when you're done and it
Does it
records the
work with
conversation.
AirPods if you're talking on the phone with the AirPods? Or do you know?
Yes. There's something, yes, there is a workaround on that. But yes, it'll work on all of it. Yeah, that's literally what it's designed for. Also, for things like meetings, right? Even for college classrooms, 2-hour lectures, record the whole thing. So I'm going to show you what it does here, which is pretty phenomenal. All right, let me share my screen. Let me go. Where is it? All right. So the Plaud web app. I use this a lot for clients. I've had some sticky deals lately, and I had a stucco situation. So once you record it, right, you've just got to link it. Once you log in here, it starts auto downloading it. There's one little step that you have to do because you get about 1,000 minutes a month. And so you have to hit like, hey, generate, and it generates the transcript and then gives you something like this. And there's so many different ways you could do this. I only use it one way because I just started with it. So it's taking this conversation that I had on 9/8/2025 with Charlie Inspection about EFIS stucco. Okay. Eric knows all about this because it was a little contentious. And it gives me this overview. This meeting was a discussion between Alex and Charlie regarding the conflicting EFIS inspection report for a property. The primary tension revolves around a formal report suggesting 6-figure repairs versus the opinions of other contractors and inspectors who believe the issues are minor and cosmetic. And it gives you a full breakdown. It gives you the contractor and buyer perspectives. Like it just analyzes this whole thing and then it gives you these action items. So imagine you're driving, right? You're driving on, talking on your phone like all of us are, and you have a 20-minute conversation with a potential buyer, potential seller, and you don't have to remember a damn thing. Not a thing, right? Because in that conversation, maybe there's 2 or 3 follow-up items. Maybe you remember 2 of them, but not all 3 of them. And addresses, you don't have to write anything down. Phone numbers, you don't have to write down their information. Like it's all just there automatically. And then it has the action items. So after this phone call, the action items are Alex will relay the conversation details to Jim and Sarah, the buyers. Alex will have Jim call Charlie to get his direct opinion. So I'm going to have Jim, the buyer, talk directly with Charlie because I don't want to be part of that conversation. And then Brandon, who is another contractor, is going to visit the property to provide his assessment of the stucco. And that's the follow-up of it. You have a 2-hour meeting. How many things are you going to forget? And then what I can do and what I did on this, because we were talking such big numbers here, is I can share this with a link directly with my client. So they can hear the whole thing. They can get the entire recap of it. I did that with you, Eric, a couple weeks ago with a meeting that we had, and it was an hour-plus long meeting. And so here's the entire friggin' thing in a nutshell. So if you're talking to 10, 20, 30 people a day, like, here you go. stop remembering stuff, and just make it all happen as good as you can. It's it's pretty impressive. It wasn't cheap. The device was like $150. I think the yearly membership was like, again, $150 or something. But it's already saved my ass on several different occasions. So highly suggested, plotted. You can do this recording from anything. I can be recording this right now. It can be giving me ways to improve things, follow-up items, other video ideas that we should be, making as we talk about this. Like, you can record anything, right? Record conversations with your spouses so you can recall what they actually said versus what they think they said. Be creative with it. But
Alex, I don't think that would work so well.
I think it would not work so well,
Yeah.
depending on which person you are. So, new tool, super stoked about this. Again, about $150 a year for it. Now, the final tool, which again is fairly new for me, is Gamma. Okay. So going back to where we started about lead gen and creating lead magnets for people. I use this kind of a two-part thing. So I want to do this real live to see what it does. So talking to ChatGPT this morning about this show exactly, coming up with AI programs in our real estate business and kind of just giving me a brief synopsis of it. So I'm going to copy just these. It's actually 11 apps. I took Canva off of there because I thought all these other ones were good. I think Canva is good, but I don't think it falls as heavily on the AI part as these other apps do. So I just copied the 11 apps we were going to go over in this show, right? And I'm going to create a new project here. Let's just paste in the text. That's all I'm doing. I want to create a presentation, okay? I want to generate from notes or an outline, which is this, or you can summarize long text or documents, anything like that. And the only thing I'm going to do is, actually, I'm not going to do a damn thing. I'm not going to do anything. So I'm going to continue to a prompt editor, and it's going to ask me a brief question or two. I want it to be detailed. Who is this for? I didn't put anything in. You just saw what I did. Write it for real estate agents and small brokerage owners looking to adopt AI tools for marketing and operations. How it does it, I don't know. But here we go. Tone, clear, practical, business friendly, awesome. You can select different styles of it. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to pick their chisel one. You can create images. You can either do automatic AI images. You can do web images, illustrations. Let's just pick web images. All images. No worry about licensing anything. 10 cards on this. Let's do 12 cards. And we're just going to see what it does. So now this can be used as, let's say, a slideshow, right? This can be used as like a PowerPoint presentation. This can be used, I've used it on videos, right? Where I'm talking on one side of the camera and I'm showing this on the other side. And so we're watching it create this stuff in real time. It's pretty fast. It's pretty smart. And at the end of the day, it's making stuff look way better than I ever would. Now, I would go through and edit some of this stuff, make the images correct.
It's
AI
a practical thing you've used this for.
What's the most practical thing?
Like since you've had it, there must have been a thing you needed it for.
I did. Yeah,
Right.
there's a free version where you can get up to 10 pages. So you can use this totally free for 10 slides, essentially. I needed to make it, I was doing it for the retirement guides. And so just looking at this, like it just creates, everything that you're seeing here now. Content creation revolution, scripts and copy, social content, client communication, your writing assistant for ChatGPT, visual design, pulls out Canva and Gamma. It gives you a little brief breakdown on the different tools.
That makes sense.
What I used it for was for my retirement guide. This one's for Castle Pines. I went to ChatGPT and I went and pulled up, the deep research on retiring in Castle Pines. I then copied that in here, and it comes up with this. And it has the real estate overview. Some of the images I had to change for location specific, right? It may be some of the stats, right? I just wanted to double check. Some of them were close, but it's pulled from like news articles, and we have better information than that. Lifestyle, recreational amenities. Didn't change a darn thing on this. Proximity to skiing, golf, and tennis. Didn't change anything on this. Healthcare access. Didn't. Like, these are good looking slides. This looks like I spent a crap load of time creating this stuff. And I didn't. So these are now downloadable PDFs that when you watch my YouTube channel, the call out with a QR code is, you can either call me and text me, or you can download my, free luxury retirement guide for the Denver area. And it's really comprehensive. And like, this is just for one, right? And it's got links to my YouTube channel, all that sorts of stuff. Some of this I did a little editing, but I probably spent 5 minutes on each one of these, 10 minutes on each one of these. And I have them for all of the Denver area, right? I've got the Denver area, Roxborough Park, Ken Carroll Valley, Golden, Littleton, and it creates really awesome presentations. And then what you can do too, if you want to use this for a class that you're teaching, if you want to, talk with clients directly, in front of them, like a slideshow, you can show this. Let me see how to do this.
What did you do with it though? Like, you made a PDF.
Downloadable PDFs.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Downloadable PDFs. And let me see. There's a way to show it like a slideshow. And I'm not seeing.
Well, if it's like most AI stuff, they move everything around all the time.
Yeah, they change everything all the friggin' time.
Especially AO3. Holy shit.
Yeah, totally. What the heck? Yeah, of course they changed it. See, present. There we go. And so now you're on a full screen, right? And you can spotlight it. So I can use my keyboard and just highlight different areas, just like you would PowerPoint, whatever. Like, here you go. So if you want to create an easy video and dual purpose something, create a bullet pointed something, put it in here about your market, right? Market stats, monthly market update, and just go through it line by line. You talk about what's on the screen as you're going, and it makes it easy. So it's not like you're reading off of a script. You're talking about what's on the screen, right? Super awesome. Free version, you get up to 10 pages for it, which works really well. And I think it has some branding at the bottom or something like that, which for a lot of people doesn't matter. If you wanted to create up to like 30 slides on one little deck, then you got to pay. But again, it's like 15 to 20 bucks a month. So how much would I pay for an assistant to create this stuff? A whole hell of a lot, and time, right? On each one of those, I would probably spend 20 to 30 hours making one of those. Now I can make it in 5 minutes. I can update it as needed for 2026, and then just upload it to the same landing page and have a brand new lead magnet for these areas. So I'm really stoked about Gamma.
Cool.
All right, folks, that's a lot. I'd love to hear
what you watched all the way to the end. Like, if you're watching this either live or recording, there's something really cool that just got like new information that has a huge impact on the real estate market.
Oh boy, it came
Maybe
out.
we'll do a whole video on this. I don't know, but the Supreme Court made a ruling on the Lisa Cook situation, whether Trump was going to be able to remove her or not, late yesterday, and they ruled that she would retain her position during the lawsuit, which means the president cannot replace, just as he at his will, replace Fed chairs. So the Fed retained its independence. And
wow,
what that means for us is real estate interest rates are probably not going to come down fast. So in my mind, we were either going to see a real estate semi crash, like another 15% or so, before the Fed said, okay, we're going to start QE and we're going to buy mortgage-backed securities, bring rates down and save the market. Versus if Trump succeeded here, I saw them preemptively lowering rates. So we would skip the 15% crash correction period. But now we're not going to skip that unless Trump finds a new way. We're not going to skip it. So I would say prepare yourself for a market correction.
Okay, there you have it, folks. Yeah, I don't know what I think on that yet. I'll have to get back to you on it and what I think is going to happen. I think we're just going to have a small. I think it's going to be a little bit stronger than the normal year correction, right? Maybe into that 15% zone. But I don't think it's going to be the world's on fire, right? I don't think that's the environment. I think people have too much equity still. I think if rates do get down into the fives by next spring, I think we see an uptick in transactions. I don't think we see a big surge in prices, though. Right? I think we have too much inventory for that. I think the shitty inventory sticks around and doesn't do much. I still think price drops are going to need that. I think good stuff that's listed properly, that shows well, is still going to be moving fairly quickly and aggressively. As of right now, over the next 6 months, right? So we will see.
I think the interest rates are not going to come down in the near future. I don't see it till at least April.
Okay. Okay. All right, folks. There you have it. If you have anything, as usual, feel free to reach out. Let us know. And until next week.
Cool.